All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing episode of multiPOPtural, the hardest to pronounce pop culture podcast on the planet, coming to you from On the One Studios here in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina.
No more snow.
That's right. The snow is finally all melted. This is your host, Brian, a.k.a. Behern, a.k.a. El Nino. I'm going to take it back to
There
the
you
old
go.
school on
DJ.
that one.
Old DJ Nino. Yeah. El Nino.
El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
Hey, it's your boy, Jerry, a.k.a. Space Cracker, a.k.a. the Spectacular Spiderham.
What a pig.
I'm right here.
You can fit it in my pocket.
Hope you got a big trunk.
Whatever it is.
I'm going to put my bike in it.
Yeah.
Ladies, gentlemen, and smizmars, this is Jordan Brown, a.k.a. Doo-Doo Brown, a.k.a. Spider Doo-Doo, a.k.a. Aquaham.
Is it too late for me to say Spider Rican?
a.k.a. USDA.
So on this episode, we are going to be reviewing two hits that just came out in the recent weeks. And,
Hopefully you can tell one of them by our AKAs.
Aquaman and, of course, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. So we are going to start off with Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse with our very own Space Cracker, a.k.a. Jadon.
Take it away.
So, I just dropped
Drop your pen.
Anyway,
Just put that wherever you want.
I'll put it there. Anyway, I was very, very amazed that this cartoon, this animated feature, was as good as it was. This thing is amazing. It let Sony do what they couldn't do with their movies,
Agreed.
which is they can get real weird with it now.
Yeah.
Because what they have now is they have a hit that's animated, and so what they can do with it is they can pull any character, any story, anything that's like too ludicrous to try to film, they can knock out with these animated movies. And wow,
it's easily understandable and easy to tie in because it's just there's just infinite universes.
right,
Exactly.
and they really worked on being able to build their own universe with the limited characters that they have access to. And so before the whole deal went through where Marvel / Disney bought all the Fox characters, they really were pigeonholed with what they could do with what character.
Right.
And then Sony's situation was a little different. They had most of the Spider-Man characters, and they had the rights to make those movies, but then they made the arrangement with Marvel to kind of bring Spider-Man, the quintessential Marvel character, into the Marvel movies proper. And so, but what this was planned way in advance, way before any deal happened.
Right.
I think this was planned even before they made Sony made the deal with Marvel to bring in Spider-Man into Captain America: Civil War. Even like they knew they were going to do something with Spider-Verse. They wanted to do something with the characters they had control over, and so what they did was they took a mediocre kind of story from the 90s and gave it, their own spin and made a movie. And wow, they really improved everything about this storyline. I was never a fan back in the day when the comics came out and they tried to do this in the comics. Really wasn't feeling it, but wow, they really did. They knocked it out of the park with this movie. And they gave Miles such an amazing origin story.
Agreed.
It's the first time that a lot of people have had access or even, know about Miles Morales, and they really did him and his origin a justice, for sure, with this movie.
It's going to be a lot easier to bring him in to the Marvel universe now. With he's already been like teased or like roundabout teased with Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Right.
And
Childish Gambino's role.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, playing the uncle.
Yeah, he said he had a
Prowler.
he said he had a nephew that lived around here, and he didn't want him, facing all these crazy weapons or
I
whatever.
got a nephew from Queens.
Yeah.
Jordan, what's your take on it, man?
I was so floored by this entire movie. Like from the start to the end of the movie, I was literally just a giddy little kid, happy as hell watching. I mean, it is probably the most impressive visually animated film I've seen. And I mean, I should have expected that, being that like the visual directors and some of the writers even worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Right.
And I loved that movie. And
didn't he also do?
Goodness. Excuse you. I just leapt out. That was
leapt out of you.
That was brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Hold the
what'd you get
mushrooms, light
anyways?
peppers, and
What
onions.
was it?
Steak and cheese, brah.
Steak and cheese.
Hook and ladder.
Extra
I know that's
cheese,
a different.
apparently.
It's a different.
Look at you making a difference in the community.
Which this movie brought no cheese. It was straight, like, it was action packed. It was heartfelt, and even though it was animated, but it felt so real. Like every single aspect of it, the characters, oh my god, the villains.
Some of these animated characters are more fleshed out than some of the real movie characters.
Anyone in Venom.
Yeah. One of Jordan's personal favorites of 2018.
Oh yeah, we're getting to there. We're getting there. But yeah, man, Miles Morales, Shamik Moore was fantastic the entire time. Like you really felt for him and his plight and all the other Spider-Men and women and
and hams
and animals
and Peter Porker, good old John Mulaney. God, I love him. He came up
one time I enjoyed John Mulaney in
oh
life
my
was this
god
movie.
Yeah, B-Hurd's not the biggest
I'm gonna
Mulaney
sit
fan.
down and I'm gonna force you physically to watch all of John Mulaney's
New
shit
in Town. That's so funny.
It's gonna look like the
so
Guns N'
fucking
Roses
funny.
Welcome to the Jungle video when you do that. Like Straight Jacket, fucking Clockwork Orange shit.
Orange. That's right.
Hold him down.
It's not like, I'm sure he's a nice person. I just, his sense of humor to me is just not. It's not
like
my cup of tea.
Like I watch comedians for their like, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. Like fuck
Well,
that.
no, I'm just saying.
Fuck
though.
that.
He's a little too
It's just-
clean
it's just-
cut for my boy.
Yeah,
I think.
and he does wear nice suits, so he does.
Oh no, yeah, he's dapper as fuck. I will give you that. John
Well,
Mulaney.
He's
dapper
like
as
all of
hell.
98 pounds, soaking wet, and he
Brooks Brothers Boys is where he's shopping
He
at.
looks like
him
a
and
baby.
Tom Haverford.
He's a very large baby.
Rent a swag.
Yes,
This is the second time we brought up Rent
we
a Swag.
bring a rent a swag a lot.
You know that Spider-Man, it was the best ever December opening for an animated movie ever.
I believe it.
I think it did like 94 million.
Now,
but
animated. Does that include Frozen too?
Animated.
Okay. Oh,
And
gotcha.
And any animated movie, it's done better than.
Wow.
So, well, at least the best opening weekend.
Right.
And
I'm sure Frozen made a lot of
fuck
money
Frozen.
after the opening. But yeah, I mean, it's an amazing opening for a crazy movie that, we didn't know that well, I don't know, when Sony made that deal, they kind of gave up a little bit of their their creative
Yeah.
license with the character, but they're kind of doing their own thing. They're like, the MCU Spider-Man is his own thing.
Right.
But
Only up until Far From Home. After that, the contract's up and they have to rework it.
Right, they do.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad they brought up the travesty of Spider-Man 3 at the very beginning. When he's like, and this
awesome?
happened. And he starts doing the dance.
dance
and
moves.
this Peter Parker was like fat and not eating pizza all the damn time and not taking care of himself. It was awesome. So we're led to believe that is what's his fucking name? Who played
Jake
him?
Johnson.
No.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, the first
No.
one?
Well, yes, the first one.
Tobey
but
Maguire.
There you go. We're led to believe that
There's so many Spider-Men
that's
now.
Tobey Maguire grown up because Spider-Man 3 was such a flop that he fucked up his life. And now there he is. That's how.
Because of the movie?
Because of the fucking movie. That's exactly right.
He's got a gut and shit.
Yup,
He doesn't
yup,
care because
yup.
of the Spider-Man 3
Next,
movie.
they're going to make an Into the Venomverse where Tom Hardy's just fat and ugly. I'm kidding.
Is
He's
that
never
even
going to be
possible?
fat and
I
ugly.
was gonna say.
He's going to be so
And it's
goddamn
Sir
attractive for the rest
Tom
of his
Hardy to
entire
you.
life.
I kept telling
Sir
people I had
Not
a
after
parasite.
that movie.
Well, he was knighted after that movie, though.
Oh yeah, I've got a parasite. Fucking stupid ass bullshit piece of shit movie.
So before we go into Jordan's love of Venom, let me go ahead and get my 2 cents in.
Yeah, what did you think about it? Dude? My bad.
Playing off what you said about Jake Johnson, I'm a big New Girl fan. I love Jake Johnson. To me, Nick Miller is kind of my spirit animal. and I thought he played the Peter Parker from today. I don't know
Peter
if we said
B.
this.
Parker.
Yeah, we should have said this probably at the beginning of the show. There are spoilers ahead.
There are always spoilers
Yeah,
in this
always
motherfucking
spoilers.
show.
We're gonna give it all
if
away.
we spoil
In case you
something
don't
for
know.
you, then you're dumb for still listening. I almost said watching
Err.
their way. I am stupid.
Yes.
We're all stupid. Who
Correct.
gives a fuck? It's 2018, almost 2019. Everyone's stupid.
But yeah, Jake Johnson's portrayal of the modern day Peter Parker and the incorporation of, just like you said, Spider-Man 3 with the corny ass dance moves on the street, the whole 9 yards, and going from that and having him show up nowadays, just like you said, with the gut and everything else, I thought was just very, very spot on. Because when I first started watching the movie, I was confused because I knew Jake Johnson was in it and he was playing Peter Parker. So, the first 10, 15 minutes or whatever, I'm hearing Peter Parker, but it doesn't sound like Jake Johnson. Right. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Who's this
Ended up
blonde
being-
guy?
Right. Ended up being, clean-cut Chris Pine, who can do no wrong.
Old Chris
I mean,
Pine.
he even made Star Trek fucking cool again. So,
Both of those movies were great.
Yes.
We'll save that for another day.
oh, yeah.
Look at
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Look at this. Me talking about movies I
I
actually
know.
like for once.
I know. The non-hater Jordan. It is
much-
Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot.
But just as you were saying,
Fuck
the
that
cast,
song.
the voices were great. Shamik Moore as Miles Morales, John Mulaney was very, very enjoyable as Spiderham. I can't picture anybody else voicing Spiderham.
I can't either. I wish he would have had more lines.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nick Cage as Noir Spider-Man.
How
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
is that?
I was not expecting that at all. And what I loved about this movie, I didn't feel like I was watching an animated film. Like,
No.
I'm telling you.
That's
you.
what made it so
was so
great.
real. It was like, I mean, of course, there's a fucking Spider-Ham. Like it's
Right.
animated.
Right.
Some of the action scenes and the way it was animated. Like, I mean, I know that sounds dumb for me, like to explain animation.
Too late.
Okay.
into the animation verse.
Yeah, into the animation verse. But like, I was literally sitting there like, almost. I'm half black. I was almost the black person in the theater. Like I was like, fuck yeah, ooh.
And it was all 7 of us because we caught like the late
love you too,
showing
Dad.
too.
Love you too, Dad.
That's a copy.
But yeah, and I mean on top of that, Haley Steinfeld, or am I saying that right? Steinfeld, the voice of Spider-Gwen, who's about to have a fantastic month because she's in this.
She's in Bumblebee.
And she's in Bumblebee.
Oh, is that
I know,
who
I
that
broke
is?
up. Yeah.
That's who that was.
That's who Spider-Gwen
Okay.
is.
That's who you were making lewd comments about during
I
the
was
trailer.
not. I was not. Wait, was I?
Yeah.
What did I say about her?
I don't know.
She had pretty eyes and a
Yeah,
pretty voice.
yeah, that was it.
Well, she's like 12 years old.
She does look young. I don't know what her age is. I don't feel like looking it up right now.
I don't remember saying these things, and I cannot approve or disprove these.
But yeah, I mean, just as I was saying, I did not feel like I was watching an animated film, and to me that was a fantastic feeling. It's hard to explain because it is animated, but it's like a comic book brought to life, but in a very, very fun and unique way. The way that they were just shaping the colors and just the dimensions of things, it was. I mean, just outstanding, to be quite honest with you. And the story was funny. It had a ton of heart. Of course, there was the Stan Lee cameo.
Oh,
wow.
Gosh almighty.
Heartthrob.
Yeah. And
Heartthrob?
Heartthrob.
is this Teen Beat magazine?
What am I trying to say? Heartstrings. There it is.
The newest
yes.
90-plus-year-old heartthrob.
No longer with us.
He's a big hit at the Senior Citizen Center. Stan Lee, we love you. And, one thing that really stuck out for me was the soundtrack. As soon as you hear Hypnotize comes on, and then, you have an awesome
It was
remix.
edited.
Yes.
I noticed that.
Yeah, awesome remix of Black Sheep with the Apache beat on the background of it. You can get with this, and then there's DJ Shadow on there, Black Alicious, James Brown, Run DMC, Jungle Brothers.
Straight up solid soundtrack. And even when it wasn't like actual songs being played, like, songs you and I know, people actually recorded. I mean, people recorded them, but like when the music, whatever Prowler came around,
Yes.
that little that shit had me terrified,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Oh god, I see you fucking. And this kind of holds true, but I've always said I'll scream it till I die, and afterwards somehow. But
He'll scream it as a ghost.
I'll make a recording.
I will.
The haunting of On the One Studios.
I tell you, you make the villain.
It's our man Stan.
There's that damn ghost again.
Wait, who there?
You make a good villain in a comic book movie, and the movie is already 10 times better than than it would be with a try to make Venom seem or anyone seem as cool as they can, and then just have a shit villain that no one remembers. So
Right.
like they had
And this one had 3 technically.
Prowler, fucking
There was a
Poison
shit
Ivy.
ton of villains.
No,
in
not
this.
Poison Ivy.
Dr.
Doc Ock,
Octavia.
gender swapped Doc Ock
Doc
was
Ock
in it.
was awesome. And Kingpin, holy
yeah.
shit. Liev Schreiber.
Tombstone, I believe, was in it.
Gigantic. The
gray guy?
I love, yeah.
Nobody knew who- yeah,
comic
it
book
was-
brick top,
yeah.
pretty much.
That's all I kept thinking about.
But yeah, man.
But Prowler, man.
You met Prowler, dude. Every scene he was in where he was like peeking around shit, you were like, I know who you are, and it's more terrifying than
Right, because the whole time, like I know who Prowler
Yeah.
is, and I knew how important he is to Miles' story, and I was just waiting for it, and wow, they really delivered on that aspect of him. Even Nick Cage's Spider-Man Noir even said it. He was like, "Wow, that's a pretty hardcore backstory."
Yes.
That's a pretty hardcore origin story.
Yeah. And that was one thing I really enjoyed about the movie as well too. I thought they weren't trying to do too, that was my biggest fear with this, and I'm sure everybody else when we first started seeing the previews, because I think the first preview came out right around the time Infinity War.
I think I know what you're gonna
came
say.
out. Is that is this going to be too much? Is this going to be another Spider-Man 3 where they try to jam pack so much
Yes.
shit in there? Which don't get me wrong, they
it
did
was
have a good
jam-packed.
amount.
It
It
was
was jam packed,
jam-packed.
but done very very well.
The thing about the difference between this movie and Spider-Man 3, God rest its soul, is that Spider-Man 3 tried to have everyone shine and everyone have their own little like story and whatnot. Like Sandman had his story and the shittiest Venom of all time. Well, maybe not anymore. Had like his chance to shine. But this one, all of the villains work together as a unit, pretty much. But really, everyone just took a step back to let Miles Morales shine, which is what they were trying to do, I felt.
Right.
And, and shit. I mean, because now you've got all these other people that everyone already knows in their own little respective universes, and you can just make a fucking movie out of them anytime you want.
Exactly.
And they even threw an extra freebie there at the very end.
And back to
at the
Prowler,
end.
I mean, his voice was great. He's voiced by, I can never pronounce his
Try.
name. I know, I'm looking at it right now. He's
Try.
from Moonlight. He's going to be in True Detective, which we're going to talk about. So Mahershala?
You fucked it up.
How do you say it then?
Racist.
Fuck you. You say his name.
Let me see it.
Here it is. Here it is right here. Say that. Yeah, say that.
Oh, it's just Mahershala.
Oh,
Mahershala.
Wakanda forever.
Well,
we need-
we're
we
just
need-
going to say
we need-
MKA.
we need
so
Saban
I
to
don't
come
mess
here
up his
and say
name.
that,
So
yeah.
that's the initials, MKA.
is it
Do you
the
have a
guy
phenomenal voice?
Is it the guy that was
He was on
Luke Cage?
Luke Cage.
He was Cottonmouth.
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 Phenomenal actor, and he's doing a True Detective.
I can't
season
wait
3.
to. I really want to give.
Yeah.
I want season
I just
3
got
to be
chills.
better than season 2. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm
It's
sure.
not
God,
gonna
it
be.
was
It's not gonna
fucking
be better
horrible.
than season 1.
No, season 1 is
It's
gold.
not. If it's
Season-
better than season
2
1,
is
I'll
feces.
I'll get. It is
True
ass
Detective
cheeks.
season 2, feces.
It is ass cheeks.
Before we get into Aquaman, we're going to take a quick little commercial break, and we will be right back. Next time you're in downtown Greensboro, make sure you check out McGee Street Country and Cocktails, open Wednesday through Saturday. They have live music, full-service bar, farm fresh ingredients, seasonal cocktail menu, and a great space for private parties. They're also hosting a movie night the second Thursday of every month. Make sure you check them out at 113 West McGee Street, and you can find them at www.mcgeestreetbar.com. All right, and we are back. We just got done talking about Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, and we were going to be talking about DC's Aquaman.
Dun dun dun.
Jordan's favorite is the DC universe.
Well, you guys know I love DC movies, and I've given them such good reviews.
So Jordan actually has not seen the movie, so Jerry and I will be taking over on this one. Matthew had to do Christmas with the family, so he is missed, but you will definitely see his notes. He's going to send them in the form of a blog. So to me, here's the deal with Aquaman. And obviously spoilers ahead, this, that, and the other. I thought James Wan, famous for bringing Saw into our universes, Insidious 1 and 2, Conjuring 1 and 2, and Furious 7. I thought he did a pretty good job with this movie. It's obviously not mind-blowing. DC still has a way to go to even try to catch or compare to the MCU in general. But I think they're getting on the right track, though. Visually, this movie was stunning. The way Atlantis looks, the center of the Earth, the trench, areas like that just looked absolutely amazing. Yep. Really, really great cinematography. I thought the fight scenes were really well. Were shot really well, as far as the scenes and everything. And, of course, you can see his work, as I mentioned in Furious 7 and, just the kind of jump scares in Conjuring 1 and 2. The one thing I did not enjoy, though, it seemed like this movie, and I don't know if it's just his background in horror, there was a lot of, random explosions that led to shit.
Right.
It was jump scares in a DC movie. It was oh, here's an explosion out of, there's a sweet scene, and something's going to happen. Uh-huh. It's like Nicole Kidman, and he's sitting, she's sitting there talking to... The husband, what was the husband's name again?
I don't know, but I kept thinking he was the guy that played Jango Fett the whole time.
Yes, that too. But they'd have a sweet scene, with her and young Arthur, and then boom, explosion, and then there'd be another scene further on in the movie, and it's Jason Momoa talking to Mara, and it's boom, another explosion. It was just 5 or 6 of these random explosions that would kick off these great scenes. But it was why do you have to throw in these jump scares to do it?
He just can't help himself, I guess.
When you've got the budget for an explosion, you put a fucking explosion in the movie.
and he
you're going to get a reaction out of people out of it.
Another thing I did enjoy is, from Justice League and the travesty that it was. I didn't enjoy Jason Momoa in that movie, the way that they made his character. He seemed
the
a lot
ultimate
like
bro.
A bro. Yes. The ultimate bro.
He was.
Hell yeah.
He is Ed Hardy personified.
God. If he wore jeans, they'd be bedazzled.
Yeah, a bedazzled Aquaman outfit.
Tap out shirts.
Yeah, it was good to see him in character, not as the bro that he was in Justice League. And, honestly, the supporting cast, I thought, did really, really well. Amber Heard, Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman. All right, so Black Man. Here's another name. This is going to be the episode where we can't pronounce names. But I'm going to try.
Try.
Yah Abdul Mateen, who plays Black Manta, was great. And Dolph Lundgren, I thought, honestly, did a great job.
Wow. We just came out of Creed 2.
Yes.
And that was one of the first things that I said. I was like, "Wow, Dolph Lundgren is working these days."
Yeah,
I love it.
And then not in the Expendables universe either,
right?
Because that shit doesn't even count.
Not just a one-off, just for parody's sake, or just to put him in something. He actually did a great job in Aquaman.
I thought so too.
He was Mira's dad in Aquaman.
Yeah, and then, that's pretty much what I got on it. Like I said, the battle scenes and fight scenes I thought were very well shot and choreographed. And my last gripe about the movie is the Kraken / kaiju,
the kaiju
at the end of it, where Aquaman comes up to save the day. And I felt like Pacific Rim 3 was getting ready to start. I was like, wait a minute, is this movie over? And are we getting ready to see Jax Teller jump into another fucking, what is it, Gypsy Danger and fight the damn kaiju? So, but I mean, like I said, I think DC, they're getting back on the right track. I think James Wan is a good director. I thought he did pretty good with this. It's not a masterpiece by any means. It's not going to be in my top 5 comic book movies of the year, but it was good. Like I said, I thought Jason Momoa did well. I like him in this character a lot. And performances I thought were great. And it was just refreshing not to see a complete CGI villain like fucking Steppenwolf last year for Justice League.
No, it was great, and I didn't mind the multiple villains either. Sometimes, we just talked about Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, for instance. You can get so overwhelmed, and you have all these great ideas, but then the story doesn't support all these people in what's happening. But I think Aquaman, it did a really good job. It brought in a ton of characters that a lot of people aren't that familiar with, but I think it did them a lot of justice. With Black Manta, you saw why he hates Aquaman so much.
They're getting back to the why, which is just like in Jordan's point. It's
Right.
important to see why are these people like this. Don't
Right.
just show them, oh, they're a bad guy because they're a bad guy. Why are they? What's the motive behind
Some
it?
people are just born evil.
Well, shit, man, I'm just a natural born killer.
No, the Aquaman actually, didn't save my dad, so that's why I fucking hate him. you know?
Right.
Even though we were doing some shady shit,
Right.
still, you're a hero. You're supposed to show out, so that character was amazing, and then I loved what they did with Orm. King Orm,
Yep.
aka Ocean Master. Brother of Aquaman. Wow, or half brother rather. I thought they did an amazing job with him. Thinking back to Patrick Wilson, like I thought he was great in Watchmen as the Night Owl. So in that movie, you saw him as like the ultimate goody goody. He's like a hero's hero
In Watchmen.
Yeah. And then
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
And
Forgot about that.
and it was great to see that shift. The exact opposite. He's a villain. He's a king.
Does he fit in like as a bad guy?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Very well.
He knows shadiness and how to use it. He's trained his whole life to be this king of Atlantis, and he knows that he has to do some shady shit in order to keep his kingdom safe or whatever, or whatever he thinks his kingdom should be safe. But you see his struggle, and he looked amazing.
Yeah.
Like towards the end,
Especially at the end when he looks like the comic book character.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's in complete, comic accurate costume, and he looks amazing.
Orm does?
Yes.
Well, I thought you were talking about Aquaman for a second because I saw in the trailer that they brought back the classic yellow and gold.
And they did.
Yellow and green.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did. That came. Obviously, we all saw what he was wearing in Justice League, and
Biker jacket.
Well, it was
Sons of Anarchy, Aquaman.
Yep.
I mean, he's doing his own thing. He's the protector of the deep. But I think he's now at the end of this specific story, he's kind of falling into his traditional Aquaman role.
Yeah.
And the costume definitely helped with that.
Oh no, exactly. And I mean that was one of the scenes to where there wasn't like that many oh shit scenes, but when you see him like don the outfit, the original outfit, I was like, this is pretty fucking awesome.
Yes.
Just seeing that, and finally he's embracing that role, because even in Justice League he was like, I'm Aquaman, but I can give a shit about Atlantis and everybody else. And I mean this story gives light to why.
Yeah, because they fucked him over royally.
Oh yeah,
Royally.
I
See what you did.
Hey-o.
So I'm not hearing a lot of hate about this, and it kind of upsets me because now, of course, I'm kind of getting like optimistic about the movie even, and every single time I get optimistic about a movie, I know I'm gonna hate.
I mean, you still got to go in bar just medium.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't go in.
Well, my bar was to the floor, and now it's
Now
at,
you can just
keep
raise
it
it up to
there.
your
now
kneecaps.
it's at my kneecaps.
Keep it there, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna hate it as much as you think. Like, don't get me wrong. When I first left, I was like, it's another DC movie.
So
here we go again.
So here's what. Okay, so well, first of all, let's rate this, and then we forgot to rate Spiderverse.
oh, true, very true, very true. Are we doing
I'm
pops?
gonna do let's do it on a scale of 1 to what do you do 5?
Yeah.
1 to 5 pops. But before we do that, I want to know. I just have to know.
Yeah, bring it out.
A big thank you to one of our sponsors, Jeff Beal, and his team at Throwback Custom Cars in Raleigh, North Carolina. For over 30 years, they have specialized in classic car restoration as well as residential/commercial automation technology and audio-video systems. There is no project too big or too small, and they work all across the U.S. To set up a consultation, contact Jeff at 919-235-8337 or go to throwbackcustomcars.com and fill out the Contact Us form.
Are you gonna go my way?
Better or worse than Suicide Squad?
Oh, better.
Yes, better because of that.
You had to-
It had
you had to
Suicide
think
Squad
about it.
has,
Yeah.
You had to think about it.
No, it's a better
Suicide
story.
Squad has a horrible CGI villain.
It's
problem.
a horrible CGI villain, but the Suicide Squad story was also not great either.
Better or worse than Justice League?
Better.
I think better.
All right, I'll just,
You could just
I'll
tell
go fucking see it,
any
I
movie
guess.
that gets rushed out and has two different directors during the filming of it. is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
And that is exactly what happened in Justice League.
them stamping that DC on there is a recipe for disaster. But what is it? 1 out of 5 pops. What you got? Be heard.
To kick it off, I'm going to go with 3.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. What?
Pops.
Okay.
Pops.
There you go.
As Jordan says.
I was gonna half them up and go 3.5.
Okay.
Just because it was good. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yes.
And that makes for a lot of it. Like even Wonder Woman, their best movie, which I think is their best movie.
Oh,
I would still only
love
give it
Man of Steel, man.
I would still only give it 4.5 stars.
I got you.
God damn,
Or
dude.
pops, sorry.
Dude, 4.5 is like almost a perfect movie.
Right.
Like I think you guys are rating this on like for a DC movie. I guess it's it's really good for a DC movie.
We have to have a DC
I'm
meter.
talking about like say 5 being Pulp Fiction. You're saying that Wonder Woman is almost as good as Pulp Fiction. That's not fucking true. That's
exactly what I said.
All right, so let's just do this on a comic book movie scale.
On a
DC comic.
On a DC comic movie scale, to be more exact.
this one's a 10.
DC scale 4.5 stars. Pops.
No, it's to me, like I said, it's a 3. It's a good flick. Wonder Woman was a good flick. I can't wait to see Wonder Woman 84. Is that next year or is
think
that
the sequel-
2020?
I think
it is this.
I don't know, because when I was looking at 2019, which we'll get
I
into
thought it was
that.
at the very end of the year.
Yeah, I think they might have pushed it.
I bet it'll be pushed.
Yeah.
I'm just that's
There's
my take
so
on it.
much shit coming out next year, which
I am
we're going to get ready to
so
go into the
excited.
2019 preview.
But okay, so
What's your rating for Spider-Man?
I give it a 5.
Yeah.
I don't do that often, and
Yeah.
I probably won't ever again.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll say a 4.9.
Don't second guess yourself,
Dude,
man.
no,
Yeah,
fuck, no,
yeah.
no. I've seen 5 movies, and not like 5 movies in my lifetime, but like
Out of the 5 movies
out of
you've ever
5,
seen,
this one's the
the
best.
best.
no, I'll stick with a 5, man. This was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite superhero movie ever made.
Wow.
Like, second favorite.
What was the first?
Blade.
Blade.
Of course it was. Of course.
Blade on a pop scale.
Wesley, we love you.
Blade was
Darkness.
Blade was just like, especially when I was watching it. I mean, that was a movie that was 20 out of 5 pops. You know what I mean? I was rock solid the whole time and just loving every minute of it. And I was literally thinking this in the movie theater, how much I loved it and how much like I wanted to like freak people out and be like, oh yeah, you see that movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah, it's probably the better than Infinity War. And then just stare them in the eyes and watch them be
Watch
like,
their heads explode.
what did you just say? I'm like, yeah, it was way better than that. And by the way, it was Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance that is one of the creators of Penny Parker.
No shit.
Yeah, you believe that shit? Yeah.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, man, that's what I was trying to.
I'll have to remember that when he's at the convention.
I'm going to give Spider-Man a solid 4.9.
Solid. Way to piggyback off what I said, buddy.
This is like opposite of what you do on Price is Right. Instead of going 5.1, I'm going to go 1 penny less.
$1, Bob.
I mean, it is a solid flick. It's definitely in my top 5. It's just unbelievable. We did not get to bring this up earlier. The very final end credit scene is probably one of the funniest, whether MCU or not MCU related end credit scenes I've
You
seen.
say funniest?
Yes.
It is. If
The
you're
2099 Spider-Man?
Yeah.
well, if you're
Where
familiar
they were
with
pointing?
the pointing, the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, where are you at?
You were pointing. Oh my god! And then the thank you to
Yeah. The mid-credits thank you
Stanley.
to Stan and
thank you for letting us know we are not
Steve.
the only ones. Oh,
Yeah. It was just a solid flick. So, yeah, 4.9.
how about you?
Did
Jim?
you know that that's Oscar Isaac as the voice of Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099 at the end?
Who's Oscar?
So
Isaac?
he's the one that was unknown character on IMDb.
Yeah. Special.
I love
Oscar
Oscar
Isaac.
Isaac.
Was,
Interesting person.
Poe
Yeah, that's
Dameron in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, that makes
and,
sense. Okay.
He was Apocalypse, I think.
He's getting ready to be Gomez Adams next year.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll get into that.
He's
We'll
got
get
a-
into that.
He's got a good year coming.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Are we still doing Aquaman?
No. Spider-Man.
no, Spider-Man.
Five pops
I give
for
it 5
sure.
pops. My God.
Wow, This movie, it like I said, it did Miles' origin great justice. It wasn't perfect, but it did. It got all the main points right. It got just the differences between the two Peter Parkers. I thought that was great. I thought, this downtrodden, done with it kind of Peter Parker.
Right.
And then, his redemption towards the end, he's going to try to, make it work with his Mary Jane. I thought it was great. It had adventure, it had heart, it had a great comic book flow to it.
Yes.
It
Yes, it
really
did.
looked, it was the closest comic book movie to a comic book.
Yeah.
And how
I've
have we
seen.
not talked about? It was very cool how they did like the origin stories to
And,
each
like, as like
of the Spider-Men
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was
As
very,
like a-
very cool how they did
As
that.
like a footnote. It was just
Yeah.
like, and,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
this is how it started.
and this is the last
One more time,
one
you
more
know?
origin story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the origin stories were very, very awesome.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Let's go see it again. Let's go
Yeah,
right now.
down.
it's that good. Seriously, go check it out. This episode will air this upcoming week. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Feliz Navidad. Happy Kwanzaa. All that fun stuff. Definitely check out Aquaman as well as Spider-Man. If you got to pick one over the other, go see Spider-Man
Go
first.
see Spider-Man.
Spider-Verse.
And thank you for listening to us here at Multi.
I almost forgot.
And we will see you in the new year. We'd like to take the time to thank one of our sponsors, Andrew Newman, attorney at law. Located here in Greensboro, North Carolina, he can assist you with your criminal as well as traffic violations, and his practice includes Guilford, Forsyth, as well as all surrounding counties. To set up a free consultation, you can contact him at 336-663-2388, and you can also visit him on his website, attorneynewman.com.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Pop Culture as Fuck, presented by multiPOPtural. Be sure to check us out at our website for all the latest news and notes. You can find us at www.popcultureaf.com or multipoptural.com. And we'll see you next week, you filthy animals.
Yes! Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.